Hi, I'm Briggs, Product Manager for Tsugami REM Sales. Today I'll explain how to customize your vertical soft keys or shortcut keys on your Tsugami lathe. So to use these vertical soft keys, which are on the right side of the control, what you're going to want to do is press the bottom soft key, and that's going to bring up your actual menu. And you'll notice down here at the bottom, you'll see an arrow. And what this arrow is going to do is if you press this soft key, it's going to give you a whole nother row of the shortcut screens. You can customize these screens any way you want. There's probably a list of 300 screens that you can go to within the FANUC control, and all of them can be a shortcut screen. What REM Sales does is we have a default setting that we set these to before the machine hits your floor, and we use that same default setting for everything. And we just find those to be the most commonly used shortcut screens. It just saves the operator a lot of extra keystrokes to get to those screens that you would normally use a lot during a normal daily shift of running production. So to customize these, what we have to do is change some parameters. In order to change parameters, first thing we're going to need to do is go to MDI, and we're going to need to turn on our parameter write enable. So if we press our offset key, we're going to come to the handy screen here. And what we're going to want to do is actually turn on this parameter write enable. So we arrow up, and we're going to press 1, input. We're going to get an alarm that says parameter write enable switch on. That's no problem. We can go right in and change our parameters. We can leave the alarm active. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to parameter 3321, and then we're going to press number search. So this brings us screen number of vertical soft key 1. That would be this one. So each parameter in sequential order is going to represent one of these keys. So number 1, we're going to put in a 100. And what 100 screen is absolute position. So if I press 100 and input, and now when I press this, absolute. If I press absolute, it's going to bring me right to my absolute screen. So what we're going to do now that we've entered 1 in, all of these have disappeared, and we're going to make our own custom screen here. So I'm going to go back to my system key, and I'm going to start with soft key number 2. And what I like to put here is all positions. So all positions would be number 102. And now if I press my bottom soft key to bring up the menu, you'll see all. I press all, and it's going to show me all my positions. Back to system. We're going to go down to 3323. We want this one to say monitor. This is going to be our load monitor for our axes. So we'll make this a 105, input, and now I have monitor. I press monitor, and it's going to show me my servo load monitor for X, Z, Y, and Z axes. Back to system. We're going to go to program screen, which is going to be 107. 107 is going to give me my program screen. Let's go back down. 3325. This is going to be the folder screen, which is going to show all your programs that are resident in the CNC control. So we're going to do 108, input, and that's going to give us folder. So that's going to show us our folder screen. Let's go back to our parameters. 3326, let's make that program check. So that's going to show us when we're running our program what codes are modal and what our current feed rate is, current spindle speed, and things of that nature. So let's make that a 110 for program check. We're going to just continue on to 3327. We're going to make that our offset screen. So 114, input, and now you'll see offset here. Bring us right to our offset screen. So the next one is very important. 3328. So this is vertical soft key number 8. So that would be number 8 here. This one has to be set to 99 in order to get to page 2. So if I don't make this a right arrow, I can't get to page 2. So if I make this a 99, input, and now I press this, now I have a little arrow here. That's going to allow me to get to the next page. You have 2 total pages, which is 16 total soft keys that you can customize. So this bottom one on the second page is also going to need to be a 99 to bring you back to the first page. So what we're going to do, now we have our second page. We're going to be back at the top here, and we're going to make that one the macro screen. So let's make that a 183 to represent the macro screen, input. And now we're on page 2, custom macro. It's going to bring us right to our macro screen. For those of you that use macro all the time, that actually saves you from a lot of key presses to get to the macro screen. So 3330 is our next one. That's going to be our y-axis offsets. We're going to make that a 118 input. And now that's going to be our y-axis offsets, which on this control are actually on the same screen here. So that one actually does not need to be used. You can actually make this a different option if you'd like. Some machines have a y-axis offset on a separate screen. That's going to bring you to that screen. 3331, we're going to make a 117, which is going to be operator's panel. Now this is a custom panel for the Tsugami itself. So we go to operator panel. That's going to bring us to our protect release. It's going to bring us to turn on our warm-up mode, which is going to be if we don't have a bar feed attached, our zero return mode, and chip conveyor, mist unit, high pressure coolant, and short cycle. We can turn all those on or off right from the operator panel. That saves us about 3 keystrokes by putting it in this vertical menu. Number 3332 is going to be our guard screen. So 157 is going to represent the guard screen. Now, once I turn this off and back on, you'll see my guard show up. 3333 is going to be settings screen, which is going to be number 115. 3334 is going to be my parameters screen, which is 126. Oops. 3335 will be alarms. So if I do 170 input, and then again, this is number 16, which would be the bottom one. This has to be a 99 in order to get you back to screen number 1. So 99 input. So now when I press here, I'm on page 2. I press my arrow. It's going to bring me back to page 1. So I've now customized all of my shortcut keys. If I wanted to use a different one, within your FANUC manual in chapter 4, there is a list of about probably close to 300 different screens, and they're all represented by a number value. And you can actually change these to whatever you'd like. This is just what REM Sales likes to use when they set up your machine in the make ready. So when you're all set, getting your shortcut screens labeled the way you would like, you need to go back and turn your parameter write enable back off to get rid of those alarms. So we're gonna go ahead, actually we can use our shortcut menu here. We can go to our settings screen. That's gonna bring us right to handy screen, which is our settings screen. Parameter right, we're gonna make this 0 input, and then we can press reset, and our alarms are now gone, and we're all set.